The Florida Museum of Natural History, formerly known as the Florida State Museum, got its start in 1891 by Frank Pickle. As collections of minerals, fossils, and human anatomy models increased, the museum was moved into the basement of Flint Hall at the University of Florida in 1906. As years went on, the butterfly exhibit grew to what we know today, a Rainforest Wonderland, directed by Douglas Jones. The forest is open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sundays 1 p.m., 5 p.m., respectively, and houses over 60 different species of gorgeous butterflies.
What you see behind me are one of 3 floors of collection space here at the McGuire Center for Lepidopteran Biodiversity. We have at present about 9.5 million specimens of butterflies and moths from around the world. Very broad in geographic coverage and species representation. So we're currently the largest global center for butterfly and moth research. And behind me, all the doors that you see have individual specimens in them. And the area immediately behind me are where students and researchers prepare specimens for incorporation into the collection. All butterflies are fluid feeders. They have a proboscis, which is essentially like a coiled up straw. And so they feed on primarily flower nectar, which is a great sugar-rich solution for fueling their very short life. But other butterflies that you saw in the butterfly rainforest will also feed on rotting fruit, juices from rotting fruit, tree sap, and even animal dung. Butterflies and moths come in a variety of different color patterns. Color really serves 3 main purposes in butterflies. One is species recognition, one is for reproduction, and one is for avoiding predation, either by being cryptic in the environment, blending into the environment, or advertising your warning colorations that you have toxic chemicals inside your system. So again, for species recognition, sexual selection, and also for avoiding predation. See behind me are individual emergence cases. So all the butterflies that we display in the butterfly rainforest arrive to us as individual butterfly pupae. They're raised on family farms around the globe in tropical forest countries. So it's a great way of employing women and children in sustainable agriculture. So for each butterfly pupa that we raise, that we display here, they'll eventually emerge as a butterfly that's out into their butterfly rainforest exhibit. So admission into this living exhibit provides a source of income back to tropical forest countries for these individual farmers. And so behind me what you see are individual species of butterfly pupae. They're hung here for about 7 to 10 days until they emerge. Once the butterfly emerges, they'll be released out into the living exhibit. And this is something that happens on a weekly basis. We receive about 500 to 800 pupae per week for this butterfly. And annually, the entire exhibit requires about $50,000 to $60,000 worth of butterflies for populating this individual outdoor rainforest exhibit.
Air layering. Air layering is a means of plant propagation. Typically, it's used in cases where plants are difficult to propagate. Recently, we propagated a plant called Gambia seminal. It's a hybrid. There are no viable seeds. The other means of propagation is with cuttings, and cuttings only have about a 2% success rate. So we decided to do the air layering, and with the air layering, we had probably an 80% success rate with it. The air layering process involves removing a portion of bark, putting rooting hormones on there, encasing that in a wet sphagnum moss, covering that with a plastic wrap, sealing it with tape, and then covering it with aluminum foil. And 4 to 6 weeks, we had roots growing within that ball of sphagnum moss, and you cut it from the plant and put it in a box and grow it on.